So today I wanted to give you a quick overview of what's going on in the back of the van here. So this is my apartment in the van. It is approximately 6 foot wide by 10 foot long at 60 square feet. So boy, you're talking about a tiny house. This is definitely it, but it feels actually surprisingly roomy. You know, I turn around, there's the bed right there, and I tried to make it so it has everything a full-size home would have in it. So let me give you a quick overview here. Here is the door that goes to the driver's cab in front, and that's a locking door. It locks from the inside, so you'd have to have a key to get from the driving cab back to the apartment area of the van. This is a shower tub. It's a 2 by 2 foot shower. It has hot and cold running water, and there you see there's a water supply lines, hot and cold, and there's a water mixer right there. That's so you can mix the proper amount of hot water with cold running water so you get a comfortable shower. Actually have a flushing toilet. So here's a flushing toilet in here. Yeah, right there. That's a flushing toilet right there. So that's great. No kitty litter box for me. That goes down to a 16-gallon black water tank that's mounted below the van, and the shower water goes down to a 16-gallon gray water tank that's also mounted underneath the van. Up here you see I have a 4-speed ventilator fan, and then this is a convection air vent right here. So there's a small vent in the floor of the van in the under the bed, which I call the garage area. So if I'm not in the van, especially in the warmer season, I will open this little vent here, and the hot air will rise and go out of that vent, and then there's a little whirlybird up on top of the van right over top of this vent that spins, and if it's windy outside in particular, it'll spin real quick and it'll draw out the warm air faster, and it'll draw in cooler air from the floor vent in the garage because it's underneath the van, so it's in the shade, so it's cooler air, and it does keep the apartment area cooler than it would be without it. Other things I can do to regulate temperature, and the most of what I do to regulate temperature is really that 4-speed max air fan right there. I can crack that open up all the way, put it on whatever speed I want, and then I can open these windows on either side of the bed. They're 14 by 16 inch windows with screens in them, so I can open them and it pulls in air from outside. And most times of the year, that's really all I need. I don't have to run the air conditioner or heat very often. But that's all of that. This here you see right here, that vent pipe right there, that's a 2-inch wide vent pipe that goes up to the roof for the plumbing of the it's a vent from the black water tank mounted underneath the van. You'll see here have a stainless steel sink. This really surprises a lot of people that I have this, but it's a stainless steel sink. You see I store a bunch of stuff in there, so everything's kind of multi-purpose. But it does have hot and cold running water to the sink, just like the shower does. I have a little toaster oven, and I have a little single 1 burner. Okay, so where I store my food is The dry foods go up in these overhead cubbies along with clothes and things like that. And then I have right here, I have a 52 quart refrigerator. That's actually, I bought it to go in between the seats here, and it does fit there. Fits there great, but a little inconvenient that I have to crawl over that refrigerator to get back and forth from the cab to the apartment, and I didn't like it, so I put it here, and I like it much better here. If you're by yourself or you're a couple traveling in a van of this size, I would suggest getting at least a 50 quart refrigerator. We call it the bottomless refrige because it really holds a whole lot more than you would think. I think it holds something like 60 or 70 12-ounce cans of like soda or beer or something like that. But we get all kinds of food in there. It has a freezer compartment. It's not on right now because we're not traveling at the moment, and I just got a few beers in there. But it's got a freezer compartment and a refrigerator compartment, and it just works great. We like that. Here I have a kind of like a chair, and it doubles. Let me get these cushions off here. It doubles as a storage unit for 2 carry-on suitcases. So I can get 2 carry-on suitcases underneath this seat right here, and I can access them. I can pull them out here, and I can open the outside side sliding door and access them from there as well. So that's a real nice feature. Down here, let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, I got there's a little, that's a mirror, a little medicine cabinet. And keep some toilet paper up there, some medicine. Kind of use it for a bunch of little things. There's a housewarming gift from one of my daughters right there. She gave me that. As well as my van life pillow. Love them. Thank you, Kaylee. But here's a little, that's a little, we call it our pantry, medicine cabinet, whatever. And it has a soft closed door, but I take this bungee cord, I'll put it here because sometimes while you're traveling, you're going down the road, it'll open and contents will drop in the sink. Okay, so moving on, I've got these soft zip cubbies up here. There's 4 of them, so there's 2 on each side, and hey, that's all the storage we need. We get all our clothes up there. We get dried food. I can put my GoPro bag up there, my camera bag, my drone bag, any kind of chargers or things we need, we keep up there. Down here, that's a 6-gallon water heater. 6 gallons, I guess, is not a lot. But if you take a shower, what I'll do is just I'll wet down, turn off the water, lather up a few times, and then rinse off a few times to conserve the hot water a little bit. Because 6 gallons won't last too long. If I had it the shower head on continuously, it may last 3 or 4 minutes, and that's about it. But luckily I'm a quick shower. I take quick showers, so it does just fine for me. The power system, it's a Blue Eddy power system. It's an AC 500. It's 500 or 5,000 watts of power, and I have 3 Blue Eddy B300K batteries. Altogether, a little over 8,000 watt hours of power there. And it's charged 3 different ways. Every time I drive, I've got a cord hooked to the vehicle battery, so when I'm driving or the engine is running, the alternator is charging the vehicle battery, and the vehicle battery is charging the Blue Yeti battery system. Also, I have 500 watts of solar power on the roof of the van. I'll show you the outside in another video, upcoming video, what's up on the roof. So that powers during sunny days, and even cloudy days, to get a little bit of power out of it. So never had a problem. I don't think I've been much below 40% charge on the batteries ever, and that was because it was cloudy and rainy for like a whole week. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to keep charged. And also, I got a shore power hookup. If I'm at a campground or somebody's house, I don't want to give it a quick charge, I can do it that way as well. Okay, so, and also in the garage area is, I don't think you can see it, but there's a 33-gallon freshwater tank that supplies water to my sink, to my flushing toilet, and to my shower. So it's plenty of water. Believe me, plenty of water. Water lasts us probably a good month. We don't drink from that water. We will occasionally wash dishes. And when we flush the toilet or take a shower, that's where most of our water usage goes. We drink bottled water, which we'll usually store in the shower. We use that as a little shower storage little area for snacks and whatever, and water and Powerade, Gatorade, whatever. And we just have to take it out when we take a shower. What else? Oh, okay. We have a heat / air conditioner. It's not a heat pump. It's a 1,250 watt AC, and it's a 1,500 watt heat strip in this unit right here. And gosh, I haven't used it much. It's more for if I get stuck in a climate I don't want to be in. If it's super hot or super cold, it's really hard to sleep at night. So what I'll do, it does cycle on and off automatically if I set the thermostat to whatever temperature I want it. But what I usually do is, if it's cold outside, for instance, I wake up, I'm cold, I'll turn it on, I'll fall back to sleep. I wake up, I'm hot, I'll turn it off. And kind of the opposite thing in the summer. If it's really hot outside, I'll turn on the air conditioner. Wake up, it's cold, I turn it off, go back to sleep. Wake up and it's hot, I'll turn it back on. So that's kind of how I use that. But honestly, in 6 months, let me see, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, in 6 months, 7 months of traveling, I probably used that maybe half a dozen times, because it got either too hot or too cold in the van. Otherwise, like I said, the 4-speed max air fan, and whatever speed I want, and crack these windows here, gives me not only good ventilation but a good little breeze. And hey, that works. If it gets really cold but not so cold I don't need the heat on, I'll close the windows and I'll make sure this little convection vent is open, so at least I'm getting some fresh air through the floor vent in what I call the garage right there. Okay. What else? The lights back here, I've got a light switch. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights in here. They're little LED lights. I think they draw maybe 2 watts each, so they don't draw a lot of power each, and they run off of DC. What I have running off of DC power is the lights, the max air fan, and what you can't see because it's underneath my sink here is the water pump. That runs off of DC power as well. That comes on automatically, and it doesn't have a accumulator tank like some pumps do, but it senses pressure on the discharge end. So if, for instance, it's sitting there idle now, if I turned on the sink, flushed the toilet, or started the shower, it would sense that there's lower pressure on the discharge end. It cuts on and it draws water from the freshwater tank to those appliances, is how that works. Let me see, am I missing anything? Oh, yes, I am. So like I said, everything is, I got pretty much everything a house does. Right under here, there's a Starlink router that I've hooked to a Starlink satellite dish, Starlink standard, on the top of the van, which again, I'll show you the top of the van in a future video. So again, we have internet, we have hot and cold shower, we have hot and cold running water at the sink, we have a flushing toilet, we have a kitchen with a sink, with a toaster, with a hot plate, we have a refrigerator, we have a water heater, we have a power system, we have fresh water, we have good ventilation in here, we have AC and heat, and we have ample storage, plenty of storage. And I say, we really squeeze a lot in here for 60 square feet, but it's pretty much, it's self-sufficient. Up on the roof, in addition to the satellite dish and the, let me see, we got the AC and heat unit mounted on top of the roof, and the solar panels, and of course the max air fan. But again, I will take a video and show you in a future video what's on top of the roof. Little things that might make life a little simpler for us. I got some command strips on both sides that we hang things in. You see a pot holder or whatever in there. And yeah, these bungee straps also make life very a lot nicer, because if we want to leave the door open but we're parked on a not a very level spot, we'll take this bungee and hook it right there, and it keeps the door open. I can actually drive down the road with the door open if I want, and the door won't close because that bungee cord's on it. We use these bungee cords for a lot of things, and even as you can see in here, I got a toilet paper roll hanging off a bungee cord. Yeah, there's my toilet roll holder right there. Is a bungee cord. A bungee cord holding the door, bungee cord holding the our pantry door, medicine cabinet door to keep it shut. And I'm using them in other places, I know I am. Oh, there's a bungee cord holding not only shower curtain back, but I have some two foldable camping chairs stored in there as well. And wow, that's about it. That's about all I can think of. You got any questions? Hey, send me a message. Show me yours. Show me your build. This took me 500 hours working alone, almost 3 months. It wasn't luck that I didn't have any major blunders. It was pre-planning. I literally planned probably as long and as many hours as I did to build, because I planned for about 3 months and drew out a little diagram layout to scale on a Excel spreadsheet, and measured everything 3 or 4 times, make sure it fit. And yeah, the pre-planning saved me a lot of major blunders. Didn't have any major blunders. You're always going to, no matter how well you pre-plan, you're going to always come up with something that you didn't foresee. No big deal. It's just you didn't foresee it coming up. You're going to make mistakes when you're building something like this. Hopefully they're not too big. Any of mine were little and they were solved pretty quickly, and I credit that to the probably 300 or 400 pre-planning hours for over a 3-month period before I actually started doing the build. So that's it. Yeah, drop me a like, subscribe, and see some future videos are coming your way. More about this build, and I will actually go into a little more detail about some of the elements, particularly like the power system in here, the refrigerator, the water heater. But the next few videos coming up, we'll go into more detail about some of the appliances and why I did what I did in this build. See you next time.